morning, guys. Welcome to my Plan With Me live here on Facebook. Took me a few minutes to get everything working correctly, making sure that my orientation is correct here on the camera. There we go. I should now be live. So let me pull you guys up on the screen. Mute so that I'm not hearing myself because that's really off-putting, I know, for me anyway. I don't know if you don't like hearing yourself, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. Um, all right, so welcome to week 35. We're going to do a plan with me here live. Um, I have selected two things for this week so far, and that is it. So everything else is going to happen in the moment. But I did select, I know this is a Halloween washi here from the Coffee Monsters Co. Uh, it's Halloween because it has things like the little ghost and the witch's hat and such, and potions bottles. However, I have a lot of book related events this week, and these are my favorite colors. And I had a rough week last week. For anyone who um, hasn't seen my channel or is new here, my name is Becky. I am new to YouTube. This is day 24 of a talking to the camera challenge that I'm doing, in which I talk to the camera every single day for a month, for the month of August. And last week on Friday, I was laid off from my job. So the plan with me that I normally do for working is going to look a little bit different this week because I am not working. It's not going to look that much different though, because I have really just noticed that my transition is going to be from working a job to looking for a job, which I am going to treat like my new job. So I also got this really cute sticker set in the mail yesterday. This came from Amazon, and I thought we would look at this together and then maybe use some of these because they are purple and they're going to match, and they're book themed. So we'll use some of these to go with the purple washi. And purple, having all purple on here is going to make me happy for the week. And what I need to do is stay in a positive mindset and a positive vibration so that I make sure that I'm setting myself up for the best possible outcome in my new job search here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is stick down some washi. I usually stick down my washi at 10 o'clock because 10 o'clock, I'm not planning anything after that. I may be out after that, but I really don't have any. I'm not leaving the house at 10 o'clock to go anywhere ever. I am a bit of a night owl, so I'm actually up past 10 o'clock quite frequently. But I'm not planning anything new. And on my calendar, I don't usually put tasks, although you're going to see I'm probably going to do a bit more with tasks this week than I normally do, just because I'm going to be working on, trying to find a job, and that is going to probably involve a lot of different tasks. So let's see if we can't find a good sticker for here in this corner. In this sticker book, we'll take a brief moment and look at this sticker book. So it looks like I'm going to have two sets of stickers. I'm going to have some clear stickers here, and then I'm going to have some washi stickers. So let's take a look at what's in here. together. I'm going to very quickly get a piece of notebook paper. We can put between these so we can see them a little bit better. There we go. This is our first page. This is cute. Our second page here. Kind of looking for some reading themed, so that might work. This could work here. Here we got a girl in a chair. Perfect. While I'm doing this, I'm going to actually also take a peek at my calendar. Put that over here on my computer screen. Okay. And then we have some more. These are great. These are book themed. They're all purple. We do have, you know, sighing and looking down at a book. I really kind of like that. That's nice. It's kind of my current mood. I'm feeling a little bit melancholy, but trying to stay positive. These are really cute. I like these. I will link this sticker set in the description. This could be good because I'm going to be job hunting, and that's kind of the overall aesthetic that I want for job hunting, except that I'm not going to be in a sweater this week because it's going to be close to 90. So these cozy sweater vibes aren't going to be happening at all. That's going to be cute some week when I'm canning. Now we've gotten to those are all the PET tape ones. Now we're on to washi tape. Really like that. It's not really for this week, but I do like it a lot. It's very cute. I'm definitely going to be getting out of my pajamas this week. This is not going to be an excuse for me to sit around and wallow in my pajamas and in sadness. I'm going to be working for sure and finding a job. That one's really cute too. I have a couple book club meetings this week that I'm planning to attend. So that's why I want this kind of bookish theme here. I'm really liking this sticker set. It's got a really nice aesthetic, very soft candle with a little glow there, giving it a little bit different color. Very cute reading theme right there. And just a couple more pages here. Some more reading. That one could work for this week. And for one last page. All right, there we go. See, I go get ice cream a lot, so that one's cute. Let's see what we've got. So a lot of these have sweater vibes going on. Not necessarily sure I want to do sweater vibes. I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to do something like this and save those sweaters for when it gets warm out or cold out. Let's see. Maybe this one. It's got a little bit more for that. I think I'm going to go with this one. She's kind of got short sleeves on. She looks like she's reading on a blanket. I'm good with that. That works well for me for this week. All right. So now she is going to show a lot under that washi. So I think I'm going to cut just the end off of this washi here. What I should say, the washi is going to show a lot under her. So I'm just going to go right to here and cut off just that last book. I'm okay with some of the washi showing under her. I just don't want all of it showing. So, of course, we do not waste our washi. It's adorable and cute, and we spend all this time with it. So, put that in that washi graveyard in the back. And we will add our little reading girl there. And see, that's so much better. There's a little emoji popping out from behind her skirt. That's fine. And some books, also fine. But we're not going all the way into the girl with that. And let's give it a little bit more. I'm actually going to take this and pop it in here. Wait, nope, I'm going to have something that I want to put there. That is August 31st. I have a birthday, so I'm going to move this on August 31st that I'm going to need to put in. So I'm going to move this down just a little bit. I can certainly plan around this, but I do like to have that full width for a birthday. Then, let's see, maybe some roses or a rose. There we go. We'll just kind of stick this over here. All right, so that is our spread. This is a cute little collection. Again, I'll link it in the description once this live is done for any of you guys that might want to pick it up. I don't think it was terribly expensive. And we've got our washi, and now we need to find some markers. So I'm going to pull out my Tombos, and you're going to notice, especially with my purples, I have no numbers on most of my purples, unfortunately. So we are going to have the book out ready to go. I think this one will be kind of down here. So this one does have a number. It is 679. And then this is my very favorite of the purples. That'll be great for that. 03. Again, these wear off so easily, but I do know that this is 603. And then let's get a very, very light purple. I'll use this for my car. This is going to be 620. Looks great. All right, so we're going with all purple this week. Purple is my favorite color. So just to make me happy when I look at my journal all week, because it's not going to look the same as it normally does. You know, this is definitely going to help my mood a little bit. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to block off a job search block in here just so that I know. That's what I'm going to be planning on doing. And I'm not probably going to start at 7 because I'm going to do a little self-care in the morning. So I'm going to start at 8 in the morning. I used to work a 9-hour day every day. So I'm going to start at 8 and I'm going to work an 8-hour day for myself. Get that work-life balance going here. All right. And up here, I'm not going to put this on Monday. I'm going to start it on Tuesday. Even though I'm going to start looking on Monday, I want to put some tasks on Monday. So we're going to just say job search here. When I was looking for a job before, right after COVID, I did the same thing. I had my job search be my job. All right. So this is my job search box. Now within that, I'm actually going to pull out even one more color. This is going to kind of relate to her a little bit more. Kind of this. It's got a little bit more pink in it. This is 673. On the Tombow. And I'm going to write in some tasks here for me. I don't want this first day to get away from me. I don't want to just say job search and have it just be, you know, kind of an all-day affair. So that first, let me take a look at my task list. We made a task list, remember, of all the different things that we're going to need to do. So I've done some of these things. All right. So I think I'm going to take these first 2 hours here, this time block, and update my resume. I'm going to leave a spot to put a little sticker there. Then I'm going to take another, so that's going to go to here. Take the next 2 hour block and, or not, let's take an hour block. Maybe right in here. And that one, we will update LinkedIn. Then we will, let's see, take a peek here again. If you're joining me live, welcome. I'm not seeing anything in the chat, but certainly come and say hi if you happen to be joining me. Oh, I need to update my portfolio. Okay. So let's take, that's a bit writing heavy, and I'm going to be a bit creative heavy. I'm usually good at that right after lunch, so let's put that in. My best time to be creative is right about here. So here we're going to update the portfolio. I think those are my big blocks. Let's throw a couple tasks in here. Going to contact AIA and local network. Then this is probably going to take a little bit longer to do. I work in architecture, and if you are not in a design field, you probably won't be familiar with this, but those of you who are in a design field will know that your resume is really only one piece of the puzzle. After your resume is complete, you need a portfolio to showcase your work. And so I'm going to make sure that I take a good amount of time and make the portfolio look really nice, and updated with all the different projects I worked on at my last job, because your portfolio really showcases what you can do in terms of a job. So what you're capable of. So you want to make sure that you're showcasing your best work in that way. So I want to make sure that I take plenty of time to do that. All right, so I think for now that is going to be the best way to start off on Monday. And then starting on Tuesday, I will start applying to places, filling out job applications. I don't necessarily need to list that all here, but I will kind of do a running list of the top places that I apply to on each day that I want to make sure that I'm keeping track of. So then I also do have a personal event here at 9 o'clock on Thursday. And that day I have a coffee Zoom. Some friends. We do this once a month, so I'm definitely not going to be missing it. And then we need to start putting in our evenings here. And I will be keeping my evenings free, because again, work-life balance. So we're still going to be having fun in the evenings. That's going to help keep our mood uplifted for the work week. Doing all this job hunting, it can be a little mentally draining. So a lot of times companies will ask for applications and they're actually not interested. Excuse me. A little drink. I've got a nice cup of coffee here. Okay. So I have my call with my friend Kim every week on Wednesday. Get that in. And from 6 to 7:30, I'm going to have something here. And then from 6 to 8 here. Excuse me, goodness. That one's going to go to 7:30. This one runs till 8. And then we're going to have to drive to and from each of them. Bit of driving takes a little bit longer. I like to leave a little ahead. There we go. And yeah, I was saying that I have a birthday. Let me make sure that you guys can see this. I have a birthday here. My cousin's birthday is that day. All right. I think that is everything that I know for the week. Let me start writing in what these things are, and then we'll add some stickers and be good to go. We're going to this is in Brentwood, so we're going to drive to Brentwood. For the book club, and then we're going to drive home. So I usually, when I'm driving, I have a separate color in my planner for for commuting times, because it really, really helps to separate, let me know, I need to leave by this time. This one's pretty close. So I'm definitely going to need to be efficient in my phone call, because we usually go on and on for a couple hours. And then I usually, if I'm commuting, will put a little arrow and say to whatever town I'm going to. And then on the way home, I put an arrow coming back and just put home. That way I know, I can't put anything in that time. If I'm going to be in the car driving, I can't be somewhere else. So it is still planned time, even though it may not be, an event or anything like that. You do still have to plan time to get to and from places. So make sure that you're buffering your time accordingly. And this is the Silent Book Club. For those of you who have never gone to a silent book club, it's actually quite fun. It is something that is international, so you might be able to find one in your area. At a silent book club, everybody brings their own book. Not everybody's reading the same thing. You show up, you chat for about a half hour. If you're interested in chatting, you certainly don't have to. In my case, it's always been at a coffee shop or a tea shop. I went to one before we moved at a great place in Niles, Michigan called Apotheca Teas. And then this one happens to be at a coffee shop here in Eureka. And once you get done with that little optional socializing time, everybody sits and reads. It's a really different way to read, because there's something very, very initially unusual but really calming about sitting in a shop and everybody is quiet and everybody is reading. And so for this, it's usually a 2-hour meeting. And so about the first half hour or so, 20 minutes while everybody's coming in and getting their coffee or whatever, their snacks, it's fairly quiet, but we're still socializing. We're talking to one another about what we're reading and how everybody's been the last month. And then we usually take a picture of everybody with their book. And then everybody by about 6:30 is sitting silently at a table and just reading. And then right around 8 o'clock, people start to kind of gather their things together. There may be a little bit more chatting. People get a little bit noisier, and then everybody heads home. So it's just kind of a nice chance to get out and away. It's great for introverts because the social expectations are extremely low. Nobody's going to pressure you to talk at all. If all you want to do is just come in, sit down, and read your book quietly, nobody's going to pressure you to do anything other than that. You don't have to be in the picture. You don't have to be talking to people um, about what you're reading or anything like that. So it's great for people that are extroverted that want to get a little bit chatty but still want to have that kind of quiet time to read, but then also for introverts that aren't really interested in any of that chatty time. And then so that's happening on Thursday. It's the last week of the month. For some reason, everybody likes to put book clubs in the last week of the month. So um, so we've got two book clubs back to back. And then I have a birthday on Sunday. All right, so let's get some stickers on this and make it even cuter. And then we will call it a day. Oops. Do notice though, I usually like to highlight the week with my Tombow. I picked one of the colors that's a bit lighter so you can still see the numbers. And then meal plan section ready to go as well. Use that same color again. All right. We're going to start with my weekly stickers here. I keep these handy on my desk because I use them every week or every month. And I think this sticker is going to be perfect for a week here. These are from the Coffee Monsters Co. They're designed to work exactly, I believe, with the Hobonichi. The Sterling ink in the B6 is a little different size than the Hobonichi. So they work, but they're not perfectly aligned. So I always just try and make sure that I have kind of the Wednesday and Thursday aligned, and then everything else will kind of sort of be lined up there. And that's good enough for me. So that looks great for that. But I usually try and pick one of those every week. Then, let's see. I am going to actually put a theater sticker on our date night. There's some local Shakespeare in the Park. Oops. I'm going to stick it up in here. And so I'm hoping to get to Shakespeare in the Park for date night. And I do have on the back of these my balloon stickers for the birthday. There we go. Now these are all going to be computer tasks. And this is a Zoom, but it'll be with coffee. So I'll put coffee for that one. Let me get some little computers for these computer tasks. And I'm just going to do the top two because I'm going to use a little bit bigger and more of a design creative sticker down here. I don't usually do a lot of Mondays. Um, so, oops, this is backwards. There we go. I don't usually do a lot in the evenings on Mondays, and in this case, on Monday evening, I'm going to be reading for this book club. I'm not quite finished with the book yet, so um, anyway, so that's what I'm going to be doing Monday evening. These weather stickers I usually use on the day of the weather. We're not going to go to a movie this week. Anything else I need from my weekly stickers? Nope, I think we are good on the weekly stickers. One of these days, maybe this week, I will take you guys through and show you my sticker collection. But it's quite hefty, so that may be a several-parter. And I want to find a way to make it interesting, because just sitting and looking at stickers is not going to be the most interesting thing. So let's see. Let's do something a little fun and book themed for even though I'm not going to be reading during my coffee. Well, no. You know what? I'm going to put a little iced coffee. It's still hot enough that I'm enjoying iced coffee right now. I was thinking this because I have these reading emojis, but I'm not actually going to be reading during my coffee Zoom. I'm going to be drinking a coffee. So let's put that in. Now I do have teeny tiny coffee icons, and I could have put one of those in. But again, we're going to try and make this spread a little more cheerful. Now I have a ton of book-themed and artsy-themed stickers. We have these. These are always really adorable. These are from Seamudru, I think. It says Seamudrau. So that's the @ symbol for these particular stickers. And I do like to use them for reading and coffee. This one I'm going to use for a book, mainly over here on Monday, because I know I'm going to need to be reading that day. Well, I'm not loving that. She's reading, so I think I can just read there. Let's put this for the silent book club. There we go. Actually, let's do that right here. I have to read. Right there. I feel like Bob Ross when I say right there. Now I get it. I get why he said that. That's where I'm putting it. It's going right there. All right, we need something tiny in that space. Tiny and book themed. I do have these little books. That might work. I also should have, yep, here we go. I got some tiny icons with books. With the emoji, I think that'll work perfectly in that space. Try and get it straight. Otherwise it'll bother me a lot that it's not straight. All right. Put that in for the Silent Book Club. I don't know yet what next weekend's going to look like. I do have a couple of things that are happening. We've got Japanese Fest that's going on the 30th around town. So that might be something good. We're going to go try and see Midsummer Night's Dream. I've got plenty of space for that. In fact, I do have, so a while back, Helen released these emojis, which are absolutely adorable. These emojis for different genres of books. And I often use these, well, my intention in getting so many was to use them for my reading journal. But I am going to use it should have classics. Let me see if I have a full sheet of them. Nope. Oh, here we go. Full sheet of classics. We have our little Shakespeare here with the pen and inkwell. I do sometimes use that for fountain pen things, but it'll be super cute for here. I do think we agreed that we were going to do that. And then the very last, I think this is just about done, but the very last thing that I want to do is I want to put on the weather. So I'm going to, I have my computer on right in front of me. So I'm going to go to the Weather Channel. We are going to look at the weather Sunday forecast. I usually just do that from the Weather Channel or from my phone. We will look at what's happening. To be aware, for example, on Monday, we were supposed to have a high of 70. It was almost 100 here beginning of this week, and the beginning of this coming week tomorrow we're supposed to have a high of 70 and a low of 43. I might have to bring plants in, that's so low. Easy to me. So now I'm gonna have to double check that this is, oh nope, see, that's, it was Kirkwood, California. Must be Northern California. My, sorry for you guys in Kirkwood, because that is chilly. We're not going to be much better, but a little bit. White out, white out the date, and I think it looks fine. I don't use it too heavily, or just to white out any mistakes. I don't use it too heavily, so I think it looks fine. I don't normally see it. I know some people have tried to match this kind of creamier paper. I find that those matches tend to go a little too cream colored, and then they don't match, but in a different way. So I think it's probably, 6 of one, half dozen of the other in terms of finding a match. So I just used the one that I have on hand in my office. So this is supposed to be 76, a little bit warmer, 52. The advantage that we have over Kirkwood, California, wherever that is that we are not going to have rain this week. At least it doesn't say we're going to have rain at all this week, which will be nice for being outside and having Shakespeare in the Park on Tuesday. So we're supposed to be 77 here and 50. Anything lower than 50, I usually make sure I bring my plants in at night. I have a couple tropical type plants and they don't like to be outside in the cold. 79.58. Here we have 77 and 56. and 8158, 8059, and 8159. So it doesn't look like I'm going to have anything that I have to bring plants in for. If I did, I would certainly do that, but it looks like I'm going to be fine. One of the things that I said at the beginning of this, and then I did not put in, is that I want to put kind of a self-care block at the beginning of every day. I don't know what that's going to look like yet to do some self-care. So let's just kind of run this combo along here. I want to start off every morning with a little bit of self-care. So we're just going to, whatever that happens to look like, and that may change each day. Try some different things and see. But let's make sure that we write that in so that it's something that's at the forefront of my mind, of care of that every day. So that is my week. For this coming week, we're going to do some jobs set up for the job search on Monday, and then we're going to start doing applications for the rest of the week. So that will be my job this week. I will be filling out applications, rewriting cover letters over and over again to make sure that they are specific to the job that I'm applying for.